everybody. How are you all? I hope you're having a great start to Unit 2. Yesterday, or in our last class, we did a little bit of some continuation on the theme of critical thinking, which is one of our core concepts for the class. So today I'd like to start us off with a discussion where you guys will have a chance to share any questions or comments or reactions or responses to specific passages from any of those 3 articles that we read. So either Critical Thinking in the Language Classroom by John Hughes, no relative of mine, I promise. Maybe, but anyways, not related to me. And then also Critical Thinking in Language Education, which is the one from the Iranian perspective, mostly geared toward teaching English as a foreign language for students who are considering transferring to Anglophone universities. And then the third reading, which was the Asian philosophy and critical thinking, and the question of whether or not those 2 thought processes or structures are convergent or divergent. That was the one that you read fully for homework. Hopefully you read the other texts fully as homework too. I forgot to explicitly mention that, but today we'll have a chance to talk about any elements from any of those passages that you either found interesting or insightful or confusing. So that will be an optional extra credit discussion. So that would be 1/2 point. It doesn't sound like a lot, but in your discussion grade, if you have had a late discussion so far in this class, that will sort of erase that from your record, catch you up, so to speak. So extra credit for that review from last night's homework and yesterday's classwork. And then for the rest of our class today, I'm going to be sharing an overview introduction to the theory of linguistic relativism, which might be really familiar to us already. I know I mentioned it in one of our lessons from Unit 1, but I will have a video to introduce that concept and to outline the 2 readings that we're going to do for our homework tonight. Those 2 readings are a little higher on the difficulty scale than what we had from Monday's class. So I think you'll benefit from just an overview of the argument and the topics that you'll expect to encounter. After we do the overview video, I'd like to close out our class meeting by having a group discussion or a whole class discussion of just sharing some idioms or set phrases or collocations. You might remember those keywords from our Unit 1 lesson on the making of meaning in language. But those set phrases are just terms and phrases that always sort of go together. So idioms, euphemisms, sayings, slang sayings often come up a lot. But let's start sharing, a whole bunch of those, whatever just comes to mind. And then we'll reply to what our classmates have shared. So we'll reply to the examples and see if we might be able to see how that kind of a saying possibly reveals an underlying cultural logic or an underlying sense of cultural values. So that's it for our classwork today. For homework, please fully read and annotate the 2 texts that we will introduce in the overview video. And those are Edward Sapir's essay, The Status of Linguistics as a Science, which is sort of an argument to say linguistics or the study of language is a valuable discipline that can connect to and have significance for other scientific areas of study. And then Benjamin Whorf's article with a really similar title, which is Science and Linguistics. That's the more difficult text. It's the one with pictures, but the argument is a little less direct. So please read both of those texts and annotate as you read, as always, and share your informal writing assignment as well. So if you guys have any questions about that classwork, so the extra credit discussion, the overview of those 2 readings connected to the theory of linguistic determinism, or the small group discussion, so if you're wondering, what am I supposed to be sharing? What's an idiom again? Remind me what a set phrase. So any questions about the classwork or about the homework, so what you should be reading and what writing assignment you should complete, please raise your hand as you always do. And I look forward to answering your questions and working through this theory of linguistic relativism with you guys. See you next time.